The Big Sister Experience is here to share honest conversations and insights around life, mental health, and well-being. While we aim to inform and inspire, the content of this podcast is for general information purposes only. If any topics raises questions or concerns for you, we encourage you to seek professional support or advice before acting on any topics discussed. To begin today's episode, we would like to acknowledge the traditional custodians of the land on which we are recording from, the lands of the Wurundjeri people of the Kulin Nation. We acknowledge that learning through conversation and stories is an Indigenous practice that has been done on this land for centuries before us. We want to pay our respect to any Indigenous or Torres Strait Islander people listening and elders past and present. We acknowledge that sovereignty was never ceded and it always was and always will be Aboriginal land.
3, 2, 1. Hi! Welcome back to the Sisterhood Space. My name is Tiara. My pronouns are she, her. We are very excited today. We have a really exciting episode with one of our big sisters. We are with Talia today.
Hi, I'm Talia. My pronouns are she, her, and my role here at the Big Sister Experience is Head of Content and Professional Development.
Yay. So if you've ever done a workshop with us and you were like, it's amazing, we enjoy all the stuff we do, that is all thanks to Talia. Yay. And we love it. So if you are new, if you don't know who we are from the Big Sister Experience. We run all-day wellbeing workshops with female identifying and gender diverse students, anywhere from year 4 to year 12. We just go in and chat about the things that we kind of wish we knew when we were their age, and we have a lot of fun doing it.
Yeah.
So it's really exciting to kind of bring you beyond the classroom and go a bit deeper with some of the topics that we want to talk about.
Yeah, because we know we always can go deeper.
Yeah, and we really, really want to. We also want to acknowledge that even though it is titled the Sisterhood Space and it might seem gendered, we really want it to be a space for you, whether you're listening, whether you're watching, to show up authentically as yourself. Even if we use gendered language, that's just more us as those big sisters kind of giving that advice, but we want you to be able to show up however you like. So that being said, we're the big sisters, you're in the space. Welcome to the Sisterhood Space. So just wanting to check in before we start. How are you feeling? What's been happening? I haven't seen you in ages. Where are we at?
Well, I'm feeling really good because I'm seeing you again, and it has been a hot minute.
It's been so long.
Yeah, I've missed you.
I miss you too.
And I'm doing good. I'm doing really well. I've been catching up with friends. I went on a picnic. I've got random ramen happening tomorrow evening in the city, and I don't know where I'm going, but I'm excited to find out. Just enjoying spending time with friends and loved ones. But how are you doing?
I think same. I think when you're in school, like you see people like every day, all the time. So getting to now being out of that, find intentional time to spend with friends is really, really exciting. And I am really just enjoying that and like finding my people and still figuring out all of that, but enjoying the journey. So yeah, no, I'm feeling good. I'm a little bit tired, but because it's the morning, but I'm excited to be here. Yay.
I love that you said that part about I'm still finding my people, because I'm sure you've heard me say it a million times in the workshops, but I really think that the company you keep is one of the most important ongoing decisions you'll make for your entire life.
100% for sure. Which kind of leads us perfectly into today's topic, which is friendships. We in workshops all the time get questions about conflict, like friendship conflicts, or just like how to make friends, find friends, like what do we do about it, all of that stuff. So we want to tackle some of that today. And in anonymous questions at workshops, we always get these questions. And we have a few of them today on our little sticky notes, which we're going to get straight into.
Okay.
Are we ready?
I'm ready.
Okay.
You ready?
Yes, I am. So our first question is, how do I cut off a friend if I still have to see them every day at school?
It's a juicy one, isn't it? And I think that when you are in school, and especially when you're still going through the phase of finding yourself and figuring out social groups, they're so impactful. And I think navigating that feels really risky. And it is risky because there's a lot at risk.
Yes.
And I think that my answer varies depending on the reasoning. Like my straight off the bat answer for this is that it doesn't need to be this huge drama.
100%.
Yeah.
I think just naturally we think it has to be this really dramatic or really like huge like cut off.
Yeah.
and this like movie moment where it's like super high impact. That might be, I think maybe because feelings are so heightened, you might feel like it should be like that. Yeah, I think sometimes we want to react straight away rather than take a second and then respond.
Yeah.
So I think like that's such a good point of, I think we think it has to be dramatic. Like I remember when I was in school and in year 12, we had this massive like long corridor. It was just for the year 12s. And there was one day these girls were screaming at each other across the corridor, and it didn't need to be like that.
Yeah.
The year level coordinator needed to get involved. They went to her office. It was a whole thing. But it could also be you just like sit down with your friend, just have a conversation.
Yeah.
Right? And see where you kind of want to go.
Yep. But I think that these are like skills that we build, and we're not just born knowing how to manage conflict. And I think that in heated moments like that, where we are just reacting, things like that happen, and we live, we learn, we figure out in better ways how to respond rather than react. But then I also think if it's something where we've been ruminating it and we're lying in bed at night and we're thinking, oh, I don't want to spend time with this person anymore, but if I do, what if this happens? What if that happens? What if I lose my whole social circle? What if they spread rumors? All of these what ifs happen, and then we end up feeling stuck and almost obligated to remain in that friendship because we just don't have the skills to navigate that. And I don't think that we're like anyone should expect others to be born with that.
No.
We learn it.
Yeah, and I think also with that, I think when you're in high school and you haven't learned those skills or you're still learning those skills, you view things way more black and white.
Yeah.
And it's super like, I'm right and they're wrong.
Yes.
Rather than being like, okay, we might both be right in our own ways. We just might not be compatible as friends.
Yeah.
And I think sometimes it doesn't have to be she's wrong. I'm going to make all of my points. I think especially when you don't want to be friends with them anymore.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think there's a difference between conflict resolution.
Yes.
And
walking away.
Yeah. There's a difference between wanting to work through it. And to be honest, I think that's when you should be addressing things.
Yeah.
But if maybe you've tried before, maybe you just know in your gut this isn't for you.
Yeah.
You don't have to have the official like friendship breakup. Like we're not going to be friends anymore.
Yes, you don't need to do that.
No.
Yeah. And I think that's why when I see a question like that, the answers vary.
Yeah.
Because if it's something as though, like, let's just say there's been a big betrayal, and for you, maybe that betrayal is something that could be repaired if there was acknowledgement and validation of your feelings, then having a conversation one-on-one without getting heightened, without becoming confrontational, but to explain how you're feeling and the impact, seeing how they respond. If there is a chance, okay, great. But if it's a betrayal and you're now like, no, I'm done, nothing could be said, start to generate distance.
Yeah.
If you've communicated that you're hurt about this, if they're aware that you're hurt, you can just start generating some distance. There doesn't need to be a disrespect or a calling out or this huge conflict. And I think when we're growing up, we see movies and it's all dramatized, and we have our expectations formed based off of what we see in media, but it doesn't actually have to be like that.
No.
Yeah.
In workshops all the time when we talk about spreading rumors and things like that, and girls have responded saying that they've said something back or started a rumor again in spite, we always get the same thing of they never feel better afterwards.
Yeah.
You do, like in the moment you might, because it might take the heat off of it.
Yep.
But it doesn't fix the situation. Because at the end of the day, behind all that anger and frustration, it's just hurt human beings.
Yes. And it snowballs because it turns into this tit for tat, and then this like division of friendship circles. So it becomes, I think that it turns your school experience into a hostile experience, and one that like generates anxiety, and you don't want to be there because you're apprehensive about who's going to say what and how will the other person retaliate. When it comes to wanting to cut a friend off but you still see them at school every day, take that into account. You're going to see them every day. How do you want to be relating to each other?
100%.
Have respect be foundational always.
Yes.
You don't need to yell.
Say that again.
Have respect be foundational always. Yes. In all ways.
Yes.
With all people in all forms of relationships. Respect.
100%. I think sometimes we think that kindness is only if you get something in return, right? It's like, oh, well, like, I'm not their friend anymore, or they hurt me, so I'm not going to be kind to them anymore.
Yep.
It's like, you still can, but also kindness can just look like not saying bad things about them. It can be like, okay, clearly, like, we don't have things in common anymore, we've had a huge fallout, whatever it is.
Yep.
But just being like, okay, the way that I can show kindness is like, I'm just not going to be around them,
Yeah.
but I'm also not going to say bad things about
But I
them.
think we don't have to go out of our way to be kind, but
Yes.
respect.
100%.
And respect looks like exactly what you're saying. I'm not going to do things to intentionally harm or hurt others because I have respect for people.
For sure.
And we don't have to be friends. I don't even have to like you to recognize pain in another person and have empathy and not want that. And I think that it's always just so important for young people to be aware that the culture they experience at school, it's created by them. They generate the culture and they experience the benefits and the negatives.
100%. I think, and I mean, that's why we go into the workshops. That's why we do what we do. It's like, it really is like, okay, we go in for one day and we hope to like even plant a seed.
Yep.
Right? But it really is them creating
Yes.
that culture and holding it. I think when we live in a world of cancel culture and holding each other accountable, but it's really just bullying and punishing each other.
Yeah.
It doesn't fix anything.
No. Trying to like one up or be like, well, you did this. It doesn't fix anything.
No. And if anything, it makes everyone feel way more over surveillance that they can't even show up authentically.
Yep.
So if we can create those safer spaces, which I get, like when you're in high school, sounds so impossible,
Yeah.
but it really is up to you and the people that you surround yourself with to foster that culture.
Yeah, how you engage with each other as a collective. And I know that it is possible. I mean, yeah, it can seem far-fetched for some young people, but I know it's possible for young people because we go to schools where it's there.
Yes. Yeah.
And the difference is palpable.
100%. Like we feel it being there for a day. So imagine like them getting to experience it every day. Like what a blessing.
Yep.
It's so nice. I think coming back to, again, if you want to distance from a friend, you want to cut them off, but you have to still see them every day. I know for me in high school, it happened.
Yep.
I had a same friendship group for majority of my high school life. And there was a bit of conflict here and there. And I tried resolving it I tried speaking up about it in ways, but I just felt like it was invalidated. So I was like, okay, they're not my people. But also, I'm a bit of a people pleaser. So I also don't want people to like think bad of me or like, I don't want to create this like really bad blood. So I was like, how can I do it in a way that I'm still taking care of myself, but maybe not creating a mess of it all?
Yeah.
And I think what I did when I was in this situation was I started putting myself in other environments within school.
Yep.
I did that more and more. Like I was in a bunch of different clubs and doing like leadership things and all of that. So it almost like, I mean, I was busy, but it made me seem busy. So it's like, oh, it's not you. Like you're not the problem.
Yep.
But I'm still distancing and getting away and not feeling miserable every time I'm hanging out with people I didn't want to hang out with. So slowly, like maybe if I hung out with them at the start like 5 days a week, it would be like 3, then it would be like 2, 1, like over a period of time. And that helped me do it naturally to the point when I left they didn't even notice. And I feel like that says something in itself as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And they also might have been in a position where they did notice, but they also didn't want to say something because they didn't want that conflict. But I think that would be how I would manage this situation, is slowly creating distance and delving into your own interests, exploring new pockets of friendship groups. And if they were to say, because they may say, hey, I feel like you're pulling away, I feel like there's some, like you're upset with me or something, you don't have to, that's not the point where you're like, well, yeah, actually, because no, you don't need to go there. You can say, oh yeah, I'm sorry you're feeling that way. I'm just really trying to focus on exploring some of my interests and I'm really enjoying this. And, you're like, maybe it would be a good opportunity for you to like explore that, but you don't have to respond with like in a confrontational or aggressive way.
No. Or defensive. I think immediate like reaction is like defense. Like,
yeah, what do you mean? I'm not pulling back. Yeah. You seem distant, but it's like
you are. Yeah. But I think especially when it's not a friendship you want to resolve.
Yes.
So you are like trying to let it go, and if they notice it, they do.
Yeah.
But again, like what you said, pouring back into yourself, finding things that you enjoy, spending time with people who might have some of those interests can help, especially when at school, when you feel like you're in this bubble and you are surrounded by the same people, and then if you have a friendship group or even just a friend that you separate from, it feels really isolating.
Yes.
And so acknowledge the feeling. I think we're so like we're so used to being like, no, we have to be back and like do everything and like revenge and all of this stuff, but acknowledge it, be like, yes, it did hurt, like there was a reason it hurt, it's because I cared, right? But I also know it's not good for me, and I need to just take a step back and navigate how I feel works best for what I need.
Yeah. And I think consider cause and effect. You might feel in that moment that you're really hurt and you want to one up them or you want to show them, but consider cause and effect. If you're the one wanting to distance yourself from this friendship group and you have this explosive reaction, but then you're going to have this whole group of people now that feel justified in maybe treating you poorly, how is that going to carry on throughout your school experience? So just pause, reflect, consider how you're going to move through, and I think don't catastrophize and don't respond in a way that promotes confrontation and conflict. And respect is foundational.
Respect is foundational.
Yeah.
100%. Okay, so our next question is, how do I make up with a friend I've been fighting with? So now we are talking conflict resolution.
Yeah. Oof. And again, the answers are varied. But when I hear that, my immediate felt sense is nervous, because I think it's a vulnerable thing.
100%.
I think if you're wanting to repair a friendship and you're the one reaching out, you're at risk of rejection. Yeah. And that feels scary.
Oh, like even you saying it, I'm like, you feel it.
Yeah.
Because nobody wants that. Like nobody's like, yeah, rejection's a great thing.
Yeah. I think I might go get me some rejection today. No one's looking for that.
No.
But it's a possibility in this situation.
And I think that's a really good first acknowledgement of, I think when we go into it, I feel like when I was in high school, if I'm trying to make up with a friend, I think immediately I would think, okay, I'm going to try and fix it, so it's going to be fixed.
Yeah.
But it doesn't always turn out that way.
That's right. I don't think we say this anywhere near enough because I don't hear it, but maybe we do. But I think that it's important to note that just because you apologize, it doesn't mean that somebody has to accept it and forgive you.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. And it goes both ways.
Yes.
Just because somebody apologizes to you doesn't mean you have to forgive them if that's not what you want for you.
Just best friends again. Exactly. No, you might appreciate the apology, but still have the decision that, well, this friendship is not one that I want to maintain, but I really appreciate the apology.
For sure.
And that can be really difficult to navigate.
Yeah. Or it could, like you said, it could be that you appreciate the apology, but I just need some time to figure it out, to make sure I'm doing what I want. Because I know for me, my initial response would be like, fix it right now, like make sure everybody's good, we're all back on the same page, everything is fine, no one's mad at anyone, right? But it's not life.
No, and people don't owe you that.
No. Yeah. Unfortunately not.
Yeah, right. Unfortunately not. So I think the first thing is to go in with the awareness that, yes, it feels vulnerable, it feels risky because there's the risk of rejection. And also go in knowing that just because you apologize or somebody apologizes to you, neither one of you owes anyone an immediate repair. Some people might need time to process. Some people might not want to maintain the friendship or rekindle that. And that's something that if that happens, that feeling of rejection is yours to manage. That responsibility is yours. It's not other people's.
No.
So go in prepared for that. But I think holding that gently for yourself, set it up to be a gentle landing if it does go wrong. Yeah. So, like one-on-one, quietly, think about what it is that you're wanting that's occurred. So like if you've upset that person, thinking about how it might have made them feel, what it was that you did, what you would do in the future to avoid it, and validating the value you find in the friendship. Yeah. And I think that would be, if you're the one wanting to reach out for that repair, that would be a really great place to start. Yeah.
No, I agree. I think just thinking about this whole question, I just think about being in this situation. The first thing that comes to mind with, I think when we're talking about like that fear, that vulnerability, is that fear to trust again with the friend. Yeah. Because I think for me, that's the hardest part of wanting to rekindle a friendship, because it's worth keeping, but also losing that trust and figuring out how to get it back again is so hard.
Yeah.
We think in high school that once you become an adult, things become so much easier and you've got everything together and you've got it all figured out. But I think life in general is just about learning and unlearning so many different things.
And it's a journey.
Yes.
If you go through it, you'll learn more.
Yeah.
And that, like, what you're talking about reminds me of an experience I had in high school where my very best friend and I had this massive falling out, and she was really upset with me because she'd heard rumors and believed those without ever checking in.
Ooh.
And had just completely cut me off, and I was devastated and I felt really isolated. But then after like 2 months, she then decided to come and ask me about it and tell me what had actually happened, and then found out none of that ever happened at all. But that friendship was ruptured, and I was so desperate to regain that friendship and to have her finally asking me and now believing me and apologizing, that I immediately took her back. But you know what? The trust never reformed. It never came back. And that friendship lasted for a couple of years, and it has been long gone for many, many more.
And sometimes it's like that.
Yeah.
And it will hurt. Like, I'm not going to be like, oh, it's fine, you'll get over it. Because
Yeah.
that's not natural. But sometimes that is a possibility. And it sucks. It's so hard. And I think, especially for me, I'm such my friends are my chosen family.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I hold it to such a high value that, like, it hurts. When it hurts hard.
Yeah.
Right? But again, acknowledging that
Yeah.
you feel hurt and sitting with it.
Yeah.
And if you can, like, switching it to be like, it also shows, like, that is how much you cared.
Yeah.
That is how much you valued it. And that's why it hurt so deeply.
Yeah.
And doing what you can to find healing in that, even if it's not the outcome that you wanted.
Yeah.
But then there are times that we rupture and we repair.
And the friendship's even stronger.
Exactly.
Yeah. And I think it really depends on why the friendship has broken down to begin with. If there's a huge betrayal of trust can be something that is difficult to regain, and it takes like testing of experiences. But it might be something like, oh, they're making a joke that you don't find funny and you feel embarrassed, and then you let them know and they don't do it anymore. Yeah. And if they acknowledge and validate your feelings, the friendship becomes stronger because you feel cared about.
Yes.
So it depends on what has caused the friendship breakdown as to how the repair will go. Yeah. But I think if you're wanting to make up with a friend that you've had a falling out with, go in holding yourself gently, hold the other person gently, set yourself up in a way where if it doesn't go well, it's not going to be like public humiliation and school news, you know? And I think also hold your friend in grace as well, because people will make mistakes. And I don't think that it's like mistakes happen, but it's how we respond to those that really counts. And if you've got a friend that can validate and acknowledge their wrongdoing and show up in a way where they will tell you like what they'll do different because they care about you, that's gold. That is gold.
And I think it takes time.
Yeah.
I think we expect everybody to have all the answers and be perfect from the jump. But it's going through these friendship conflicts. It's going through maybe losing yourself to like relearn who you actually are, actually want to be, to figure out how to have these tools and strategies to manage these friendships better.
Yeah.
And it takes time.
Yeah.
But like you said, I think doing it all with grace, doing it gently, not bullying yourself or your friends into being better, that doing it with kindness, it sounds cheesy, but we say it for a reason.
Yeah.
And I think it's hard. We put romantic relationships on this massive pedestal and we put so much light on that.
Yeah.
But then when we have those friendship conflicts, friendship breakups, things like that, we don't give it that same space.
But sometimes it's worse.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's so much worse. And I think it's really about like acknowledge your feelings, acknowledge the other person's feelings, try to see things from two sides of the coin, and just know that people are going to fumble through life. Like even as an adult, you're going to fumble, you're going to learn, And also, if you can, people will respond to things differently. So if you know that friend A is likely to get defensive if they feel attacked, take extra care in navigating that. But you can accommodate your interactions based off of people's individual needs as well. Like, trust your gut. You know your friend, you know what's going to work, you know what's going to land, you know the best approach. But just move gently in the space. And I think even with, like, we can go straight back to the first question and say, don't be reactive, be responsive.
100%. And I think what you said about you know your friend.
Yeah.
I think, like we said, with that reactive responsive, if they did something that hurt us, immediately it's the reaction, right?
Yes.
But you know your friend. And it also, especially if it is someone you want to rekindle with.
You want to maintain it.
If you want to maintain it, you know them.
Yes.
You know their intentions. You're friends with them for a reason.
There's a reason why you want that back.
Yeah, think about that
Yeah.
before you respond.
Yeah.
But also sometimes that can be why it hurts more.
Yeah.
But again, giving them grace, giving yourself grace, and figuring out at the end of the day what's best for you. And I know for me, putting some of those people pleaser tendencies aside, but communicating it.
Yes.
At the end of the day, talk about it.
Conversation.
And I feel like such a hypocrite saying this because I'm terrible at it. I'm so bad at it, but it's because I was so bad at it that I had to learn really hard lessons to now move the way I want to in my friendships to show up best for me and for my people.
Yep.
So talk about it, please. Especially again if you want to fix it.
Yep.
Because you can't fix it if no one's saying anything.
And if no one wants to fix it, there's no point in saying anything.
That's an answer in itself.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So before we end each of our episodes, we love to do our leaves and our loves.
Yes.
So what are you leaving this week with friendships?
This week, I am leaving doing things out of a sense of obligation.
Ooh, big on
Or
that.
like, I have to do it because what if this, what if that? I'm leaving behind my what ifs and obligations. Yeah. What about you?
I think I am trying to leave, not communicating. I think it's a work in progress. We're trying. I think I'm just not used to, again, because of that big people pleaser, I'm so like, oh, but like, what if they get mad at me? Or like, what if they get defensive? All of that stuff that I was like, oh, just not say anything and like keep the peace.
Yep.
But that really makes things a lot harder and it drags it out way longer rather than with those what ifs being like, this is it because I dealt with it.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to leave, not communicating.
Yep. Avoidant behavior.
Yes.
We're avoiding the avoidance.
So trying to avoid the avoidance.
Yeah. Love that. Love that.
What are you loving this week?
This week I am loving free, authentic interactions with my friends where I feel like I can just show up exactly as I am and I don't feel apprehensive and it's just really easy and light and ramen.
I love that.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I think so. I think being able to show up authentically as yourself is, I feel like something we take for granted sometimes.
Yeah.
And being able to just do it and just be who you are, like, I love that.
Yeah. What are you loving?
What am I loving this week? Being able to, I think it again goes with the authenticity, but being able to be the weirdest, most like obnoxious, loud, chalant version of
Chalant. Yes. You are chalanting.
Yes. That version of myself, because my people know me, they see me, and that being not just acknowledged but celebrated.
Yeah, they love it.
Exactly. Like, I think that I'm not just loving that this week, I'm loving that all the time.
Yes, throughout life.
Yes.
I think that's how you know if these are your people, you feel safe to show up as you and there's no anxiety about it. And I love that you're surrounded by your people.
Yeah. It makes such a difference.
Yes, it does.
That is our episode.
We did it.
Which is so exciting. If you are listening, please like, share, rate. If you're watching, thank you for watching. Drop a comment below. We run these workshops all the time. It's our literal day job. Yep. It's what we do day in, day out. If you have a question, please ask it. Trust us, like there's not a question we haven't heard.
Yeah, that's true. We get some interesting ones.
Yeah, and if you think like, oh, I'm not sure, just ask it. Trust us, somebody else has the same question. So do everyone a favor. So leave that in the comment below. Thank you for being with us. Loved having Talia on today and seeing you after so long.
I know, it was so good. This was so much fun.
No, please come back. Keep going.
I'll be back.
Doing more. So just like in our workshops, we want to just end with sending you a whoosh of love. So 3, 2, 1, whoosh! Bye!
Here are some resources for further support. Lifeline 131114. Beyond Blue 1300 224 636. 1-800-RESPECT 1800 737 732. Suicide Callback Services 1300 659 467. 13-YARN 139276. Q-Life 1800 184 527. Kids Helpline 1800 55 1800. There's a QR code for further resources.